Hey, what's up everyone? Journeyman here and welcome back to Save Our Saints. Today is episode number 31 in the series and we're entering the January transfer window in our fourth season in charge. As things currently stand, we are fourth place in the table, still hanging on to that last Champions League spot. Today we take on Crystal Palace, looking to get back on form after a pretty rough December. Greetings once again everyone and welcome back to Save Our Saints. As I mentioned in the introduction, we are into January now in our fourth season in charge. Yep, 8th of January 2022. So today's episode we take on Palace at Selhurst Park, hopefully to get back on form because it's been a bit of a rough time. Let's take a look at some of the fixtures the last time you joined us. After the Chelsea game was a 2-1 defeat, we beat Valencia 3-1. Casimo, Gustavo and a goal for Wayne Marshall, the young striker coming out of the youth academy, getting his first goal, professional goal for the football club. He's a promising young player, not quite sure if he's going to make it at the Premier League level, but no doubt he'll play at least League One, I'm sure. After that, disappointing 1-1 draw with Everton, just couldn't hold on to the end. Vincent Janssen getting a goal in the 88th minute after Erling Haaland opening the score in the 6th minute of this game. After that, there's actually a very good result. We went all the way to the City of Manchester Stadium and got a credible 0-0 draw against the very, very strong Man City team who currently sit on top of the table. This was actually a very, very good performance from the boys from back to front. Excellent stuff all the way around. I'm very happy to get away with a point and a clean sheet. Then we beat Newcastle 3-1. Erling Haaland, Martial and Vecino get the goals here. Matt Ritchie getting a goal in the 49th minute. Overall, just a very industrial performance from the boys. Very, very solid stuff indeed. After that, we lost 2-0 to Brighton. Goals from Florian Adoni. This guy has scored every single time we've played Brighton. I think he has a record of 8 or 9 goals against us so far. It's absolutely absurd. The little Romanian is surely a pain in my ass. And it's just crazy. He's on 12 goals this season, by the way. He's actually second top goal scorer next to Erling Haaland. But anyway, terrible display. Then we open up January here with a 1-0 win over Cardiff. We had to beat them, though, through an own goal from Emiliano Fernandez. I want to do well in the FA Cup this year, so I put a pretty strong team out on the left-hand side, as you can see. Alright, so in the month of December, we ended up with 2 defeats, 2 draws and 3 victories. May not seem like a rough time as far as Southampton goes in Football Club Star, but if you want to try and keep up with the big boys, you got to make sure you pick up maximum points. That means beating the likes of Everton and Brighton and Hove Albion when you have those opportunities. This is how the league table stands. We are 4th place by the virtue of a goal difference. Chelsea have 5 worse off goal difference than we do. Currently we slipped 3 points behind Man United in 3rd and 4 points behind Liverpool, who are currently in 2nd place. So today is a very, very important game. We have to get to winning ways here. We got to start the new year in the Premier League with a bang, and hopefully we'll do it here at Crystal Palace. Alright, and we got some news, got new players coming in the club. Frederic Robert was a player I actually signed last season, but had to wait till January to sign for us officially. Promising young French striker, we'll see how he develops. He can also play on the left and right hand side of midfield. 18 years old and signed for a pretty nominal fee, £700,000. At very least, I should be able to sell him on for a profit. Another signing, German left wing here, Marcel Flugel, and I really like this guy when I scouted him about a season and a half ago, and I signed him on a pre-contract deal, really cheap deal, £170,000. What attracted me about him was the fact he had a record of 26 assists in 58 appearances. That's an incredible amount of assists to appearance ratio, and I really thought I was going to get a really kind of a superstar left winger, but turns out not to be. I mean, but a bit of work. He's only 18 years old. With a little bit of work, maybe on the training field, he could turn into a pretty solid production player, like a rotation player, or at least a championship player. But again, it's a very cheap deal, so even if we lose out, it's not that much money. Alright, so it's been in January as well. A lot of teams are interested in some of our talent. In particular, Anthony Martial, and they've already had a bid from Inter Milan come through for £55 million after bonuses and incentives, and I initially rejected it. He wasn't particularly interested in joining Inter Milan. I want to try and keep hold of Martial as long as I possibly can. I'm trying to correct, by the way, a pronunciation of him. I keep calling him Anthony Martial, but in fact his name is Anthony Marcel, so I have to keep reminding myself to do that. So I do apologize if I keep annoying you by mispronouncing his name. But anyway, Martial, a bid came in, £55 million from Inter Milan. I rejected it because I didn't think it was going to be enough. I felt like a player of his quality under contract for another 3 years, we should be looking at least around £70 million. And obviously, if we get that kind of money for him, that's something I will consider, because he's been excellent this season. He's been absolutely fantastic. However, a player, I mean, we're not getting enough. We haven't got enough money to really improve the squad. The areas we need to improve, like the centre midfield, and I'm still looking for a number one goalkeeper of the future, because Rakifek really hasn't really lived up to those expectations I thought he was going to grow into. And Angus Gunn is on the horn about trying to leave the football club for a bigger club. So I'm hoping that we'll keep Martial. Obviously, I'd love to keep him because he's obviously an elite talent, but needs must. Unfortunately, we get a huge bid for him, something we can't reject, and I may consider letting him walk. Other players potentially leaving is Gustavo Scarpa. He requested a transfer out of the football club because he wasn't getting enough playing time. He's largely been used off the bench this season. Jack Grealish has been the number one attacking centre midfielder, and I don't blame him. He's still 28 years old. £22 million currently valued right now. Potential offer might come in the near future from Sassuolo from Italy. Yeah, I mean, if we get a bid for £22 million for him, that's something I'll definitely consider. All right, at the moment, I am trying to bring in some players here to help us out with the back end of the campaign. This is one of the players that I found that he looks a pretty young but pretty talented player. French midfielder Hakim Achi. He's been capped already under 19 level for France. Very versatile, creative young midfielder. Someone we can definitely work with and build around for the future. Because obviously trying to sign a top class midfielder needs money, and we don't really have a lot of that. We have about £9 million in the transfer budget to spend during January, so I'm not expecting a lot of moves into the club because of that. And I want to try and improve our midfield, trying to strengthen it. We did spend a lot of money over the summer strengthening our defense. Now it's best we spend a bit of money strengthening our midfield. But this is one of the players that I think will have a promising future. My scouts seem to agree with my assessment of that, and yeah, I mean, if we get him in, great. If we don't, then there's plenty of options out there. A player I'm thinking about bringing in, though, is Victor Wanyama, or bring him back to the club, I should say. He's available for loan for the remainder of the season, and he comes on a pretty okay, reasonable contract deal from Tottenham. And I bring him in, he could provide adequate cover for Gambin and Ndidi, who obviously have had their injury problems this season, as has Vecino, and Haaland, by the way, now is out 8 to 9 months. So I need to try and strengthen the middle of the midfield if we're to sustain our place competing for a Champions League spot. So Victor Wanyama is one of those players that I think I could bring in on the cheap for the remainder of the year, and definitely will help us get over the line, just because he's that boarding midfielder. There aren't really a lot of really good boarding midfielders in the world. Gambin has actually got to be one of the better ones, to be honest with you, but because he can't stay healthy, I'm going to have to look at different options, and Wanyama definitely presents an option to me. All right, so here we go up against Palace at Selhurst Park. This is how we're going to line up for today's game. Angus Gunn is obviously going to be in goal. Familiar backline of Danilo, Diallo, Diop, and Bertrand. Midfield of Vecino and Wilfred Ndidi, forming a very strong partnership in there, which is great news. In the attacking third, we have Justin Kluivert, Jack Grealish, and of course Anthony Martial. And then we have Erling Haaland leading the line on 25 goals for the campaign so far. Erling Haaland has had a terrific campaign, and we're going to need it for it to continue if we stand any chance of finishing in the top four. All right, so this is how Crystal Palace line up in a 4-5-1 defensive formation. Mohamed Isako still there, as Milovic is in there too. Maya's there, Maximilian Maya, very talented player. Can't believe he's on £160,000 a year, though. That's a little bit confusing. Good player, just don't think he's worth that much. Up top, they got Josh King, obviously signed from, on loan from Bournemouth, I should say. Did pretty well for Bournemouth last season. 13 goals in the Premier League, 16 in the first season spent last year in Italy with Bologna, whatever you want to call him, I don't know. But yeah, Josh King there, scoring 4 goals this season campaign. Obviously a player we have to be aware of. All right, so here we go at Selhurst Park. Let's get it going. And obviously, an early goal here is going to be key to our success today. So let's get on the front foot. Let's tell the boys they can be creative right from the get-go. And let's get an early goal. All right, here's Simone now, launching it to Josh King. Now, it's Josh King's got players to aim at in the box. It goes past two players. Here's Moore at the far post, and he's missed. That was a great chance for Palace there. Awful defending from the Saints there. Josh King evading the slide tackle of two of our defenders. Really not sure what our defence was doing there. But anyway, here's Bertrand now to Ficino. Gets in there, Matthias Ficino makes it 1-0 to Southampton here in the 18th minute of the game. Rose like a salmon in the box after a wonderfully placed ball there from Ryan Bertrand. Just did enough to evade the keeper, and Ficino rose highest and headed it past the goalkeeper. So 1-0 to the Saints. All right, here's Emery Moore. Puts the ball in, cleared to Jack Grealish. All right, so here's Haaland now. This is where he's dangerous. He flicks it on. He's going to chase his own flick on here, putting pressure on Henry, but he does well to get the ball clear. So let's regroup here. King's now through one-on-one with the keeper. He goes the audacious chip, and Angus Gunn just does enough to keep it out there. Angus Gunn almost embarrassed by the very confident chip there from Josh King. All right, here's Moore now. It's been a problem game for us. There's Williams with the efforts, and that was a great chance for Crystal Palace there. Really should have been 1-1. They've had a few chances today. Our defence has not been as tight as it usually is. But anyway, here's Haaland now. Ball from Marcel. Oh, good save there from the goalkeeper, rushing out on Erling Haaland and tipping it round the post. That was a great chance for Erling Haaland to make it 2-0. All right, just got the news that Wilfred Ndidi is in fact picked up a knock, so we might have to make a change at halftime here. But that's a good cross from Marshall. There's Kluivert, lays it on the path, straight to the feet of Erling Haaland. He's not going to miss from there, is he? 26th goal of the season for Erling Haaland. Get in there. Well worked goal as well. Marshall does well to get to the byline there, gets a bit of space there, puts in a perfect ball. Justin Kluivert as well at the far post to keep it alive, and that's a good finish there from Erling Haaland on his left peg, and it's 2-0 to Southampton. All right, so halftime here, and it's 2-0 to the Saints, 2-0 to the good. Controlling possession, a few shots on goal as well, which is good. We gave up far too many chances though in that first half. Crystal Palace were very unlucky not to find the back of the net on any of them. But we'll have to make a change here though, because Ndidi has picked up a knock, and we have more important games to come in the near future. We're going to need him for that, so we've got to rest him. Schneiderlin is the obvious replacement, but I'm going to do something brass. I'm going to bring on Callum Slattery. Jack Grealish can go back to the centre midfield. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder. Ficino can be a born midfielder, and Callum Slattery comes in to the attacking centre midfield. Now, he missed large portions of the first half of the season with injury, so I want to get him more involved this year in the first team, because I do think this guy could be a fantastic rotational player for us going forward, especially if we do sell Gustavo Scarpa. I feel like someone needs to step into his rotation role, and Callum Slattery is certainly my pick for that. So here's a good chance for him to really make an impact on the first team today. All right, first out of the second half. Here's Slattery now to Justin Kluivert. Kluivert back to Slattery. Interesting looking ball. Finds the feet of Marcel though. Goes by his man beautifully. Puts the ball in. Saka with the clearance only as far as Williams is going to launch this ball long. There's a chance for King now. Mistake from Diallo, and Angus Gunn and pulls off a great save 1-on-1 against Josh King. Poor defending there. I think that was from Diop. His header went straight into the path of Maximilian Meyer, who put a decent ball forward, and Josh King really should have found the back in there on that chance. And that was a glorious opportunity for Crystal Palace to get back in the game. There's Emery Moore now. He's torched Bertrand all day long. There's Williams with a header, and it goes inches past the post. So Palace are getting right back in this game. They're really giving it a go. They don't feel like they're out of it. So let's go ahead and make a change. Let's bring off Jack Grealish for Morgan Schneiderlin. Oh, that's the wrong person, isn't it? That's Jeremy Toljan. We need Morgan Schneiderlin. There you go. And Morgan can play as a ball midfielder, and then Matthias Ficino returns to his more familiar box-to-box midfielder role. We can also bring on Patrick Roberts there for Justin Kluivert for some fresh legs. So here we go. 20 minutes ago in this game, we are still 2-0 up and still largely in control despite a little bit of pressure from Palace. Let's go ahead and tell the boys to show some passion now for the last 10 minutes of the game. We got them fired up, so which is good. Hopefully we'll keep our composure though. Anyway, here's Benteke. Benteke still playing in the Palace shirt. Didn't realise that. Oh, that's a great challenge from Danilo. What the hell are you talking about, referee? Oh, he's going to be sent off here, isn't he? Straight red card. What the hell kind of refereeing was that? Atrocious. That was nowhere near a red card offence. All right, so that's left us a little bit in the lurch now. So who do we have that can play right back apart from Toljan, who's on the bench? Obviously, our defenders can. What should we do here? What should we do? Well, this is about 7 minutes to go in this game. We just got to be. I don't know. Just got to be solid. So let's do a little bit of this, shall we? And do 2 inverted wingers. Slattery, I guess, fullback support, but I'll put Slattery there. That's a bit harsh on the lad, isn't it? We could do Slattery midfield. Vicino can play as a centre half, and Diallo can play as right back. I guess. I think Diallo's primarily left-footed though. Primarily left-footed. Diop, right only. All right, so I think something like that might be okay. That might have to do. All right. There's 7 minutes to hold on. So, as long as we concentrate, we should be able to get away here with a win. All right. Free kick for Bertrand here at the end of the game, straight in the hands of the goalkeeper. So, yeah, it looks like we comfortably handled that difficult situation there, going down to 10 men with pretty much ease. They didn't really create any chances afterwards. So we managed to just about do enough here to secure all 3 points. And vital 3 points it was as well. So yeah, very, very pleased. And let's go ahead and take a look at the league table before we conclude this episode. All right, so the good news too, Wilfred Ndidi's injury was pretty minor. It was only a tight calf. He's going to be out for a couple of days. He'll be back for the next game up against Tottenham in about a week from now. All right, so take a look at this league table. As you see, we have caught up a little bit with Man United, although they do have a game in hand now. Chelsea, by the way, do have a game in hand over us. But a win is a win, and it's a win in a positive direction. It's a step in the positive direction. Erling Haaland got his 18th goal in the Premier League this season, so fantastic return there from Erling Haaland. He continued to defies all kind of odds. I didn't expect him to do this well for me after I signed him for £16.25 million. So far, in my opinion, he's been the bargain of FM19, especially for me. But thanks so much for watching the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, we're going to go through here January, and we'll return on the first week of February where we play Manchester United. And then also, by the way, we take on Fenerbahce in the Europa League first knockout round. That'll be a separate episode as well, which I'll be uploading for you guys. But the next episode will be Man United at the end of January. Hopefully we'll be able to reinforce the team a little bit, give us some different options, especially in the attacking third and obviously in midfield. As you can see, injuries are still a problem for us, but we're still hanging on to that 4th spot, so fingers crossed we'll be there next episode. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, smash a like on it. If you want to see more from me in the future, please hit subscribe, turn notifications on. It's been a pleasure as always. See you guys soon. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.